The secret hidden inside my father's final gift. I laughed, right in the middle of my father's will reading. The lawyer stopped, looked over his gold-rimmed glasses, and said, "Mr. Vance, do you find your father's death amusing?" I leaned back, and whispered, "No, sir, but my dad always said the truth has a funny way of checking the time." Then, I pulled out the old, brass pocket watch. My sister, Claire, let out a loud, dramatic sigh. She had spent the last hour, painting me as the family failure, the financial liability. She had spreadsheets, logs of every single dollar Dad ever lent me. She told the court he was losing his mind when he signed the family workshop over to me. I looked at the watch. It was a heavy, scratched-up hunk of metal, stopped at exactly 4:12. The exact moment he took his last breath. Claire's lawyer read a letter, supposedly from Dad, saying he regretted my choices. I could feel the room getting smaller, the air getting thin. But then, I remembered what Dad told me in the garage, years ago, smelling of cedar wood and old engine oil. "Elias," he'd say, "most people only see the face of the clock, but a real craftsman, he looks at the gears." I pressed the crown of the watch, 3 times. Click. The back popped open, revealing a tiny, hidden micro-SD card. The judge allowed it. We plugged it into the laptop, and the screen flickered to life. There was Dad, sitting in his favorite, beat-up recliner. His eyes were tired, but they were sharp. "Claire," he said, his voice sounding like gravel. "I know you're sitting there right now, clutching those spreadsheets. You were always good at math, but you forgot how to count the things that actually matter." He leaned into the camera. "I know about the nursing home brochures you hid under my bed. I know you tried to sell my workshop, behind my back, while I was still breathing." Claire's face turned a ghostly shade of gray. The room went dead silent. "And Elias?" Dad smiled, just a little. "He didn't borrow that money, Claire. He used it to pay off your second mortgage, so you wouldn't lose your house. He just never told you, because he knew your pride couldn't handle the debt." I gripped the edge of the table, my knuckles turning white. "The workshop is his," Dad's voice boomed. "Because he's the only one who knows that some things are worth fixing, even when they look broken." The judge didn't even need a recess. I'm back in the shop now. The smell of cedar is still there. Every morning I win that watch. It doesn't tell the time, but it reminds me, exactly, who I am.